Hey there! So today I'm going to have Eruption Imperial Red Ale by Worthy Brewing. This is out of Bend, Oregon. 8% alcohol by volume and 100 IBUs. So it's a little bit higher. And I wonder if... Okay, so it's an Imperial Red Ale. There really isn't technically a category for that. There is a red IPA, which is considered like a double... what is it? It's like considered a double red ale, which is kind of what this is, I guess. But there's not technically a category for it because it's not really an IPA. It's just a high gravity, probably extra hoppy red ale. So we also can't try it under red ales either because it's not a red ale. Anyway, so we'll be making it up a little bit as we go. But in the red IPA category, we're usually between 5.5 and 7.5% alcohol by volume and 40 to 70 IBUs. So this Imperial, category really makes it bigger. Like, Imperial IPA really isn't even a thing. Like, I don't even know. Specialty IPA. I'm actually kind of surprised. Kind of surprised that there's not a double red. Or I just missed it entirely. But there's a double IPA and an American Strong Ale. And actually, and now that I think a little bit more about it, American Strong Ale might be a better category for it. So technically it's 50 to 100 IBUs and 6.3 to 10% alcohol by volume. So therefore we fall firmly into those standards. So we're going to call it an American Strong Ale because it's not an IPA and it's done with either darker or darker malts than an IPA would be, since technically it would be a pale ale. And so we're expecting that kind of copper color. So I'm assuming and confirming that we get that nice coppery red that we'd be expecting from a red ale. Okay, so sorry for the confusion about categories. We're looking at 22B American Strong Ale. Okay, so aroma. Yeah, lots of maltiness, lots of hoppiness going on here, but like a grassy hops. Fruity. Definitely nice toasty malts that are going on there. So appearance-wise, it's a nice, great copper color. It's a little hazy, and I don't think that's a function of my frosty glass. So it's a little hazy. It did pour with a nice head. I actually had to let it dissipate a little bit before I could fill the glass the whole way, so that's nice. Okay. And we're not expecting really high head retention out of these beers, and so we want the head to kind of dissipate off. And another thing is that with the higher alcohol content, we're going to see a little bit of legs like we would expect out of a Belgian ale. Not necessarily lacing that we would get from a Belgian, but that kind of leggy alcohol thing. Although at 8% alcohol, it's not going to be as apparent. All right, so flavor. Wow, that's nice. I had a whole rush of thoughts as that first taste kind of washed over me. Wow. Oh. Wow. So you definitely get the maltiness, the carameliness, the sweetness, the kind of not even fruitiness, but sweetness and like thick depth of flavor that you would expect out of a red ale, where you're really showcasing the hops, the malts that are in this beer. But you also get super intense hoppiness. It's extremely grapefruity. It's like biting a grapefruit. And those two things are distinct, and then it just finishes together in this nice way. It just, I don't even know. It's like the flavors just swirl together, and it becomes just this beautiful aftertaste of a nice backbone malt red ale and high hopping. It actually says 6 pounds of hops per barrel, 6 hop varieties, including Cascade, Centennial, Crystal, Meridian, and Quintuple hopped, including dry hopped with Mandarina Bavaria and a new German variety with roots in Oregon. And then it goes on to boast that even with all of that it has this amazingly smooth finish. And boy, are they right. I mean, it really nails that. And I love, they're definitely pushing the boundaries with this beer, with all that super hopping. But it's taking a beer whose malt profile is strong enough to handle that kind of hopping, especially when it's American hopping, Northwestern hopping specifically, where they're really going for a big hop showcase. And a lot of beers can't really stand up to that, or I don't feel like they can support it fully. And then so you get these beers that really just come through only in hop character, which has value if you're really into hops. But I like the fuller palette of beers, and I really appreciate the malty side. So a beer that has a strong malt backbone to me is clutch, and you put some excellent hopping on it, and it just becomes a treat. So this is no joke. This beer is no joke. I mean, it's so hoppy, it's almost acidic in your stomach. But it's done in a way that's very enjoyable. It's very drinkable. Really, it's like a cracker beer, maybe even like a charcuterie plate, where you have some nice meats and cheeses to go with it, and it really breaks up the intensity of the flavor. And I think I might even go get some cheese and crackers when I'm done with this. But anyway, very nicely done. I really love red ales, and I like red ales that push the envelope and do something different, and they definitely did a good job of that. So, Worthy Brewing, you are in fact worthy, out of Bend, Oregon. Thank you so much for your craft. And if this is a beer that you have tried, please share with me down below. I would love to hear your thoughts on it. Share with others where you were able to find it so they too can enjoy this treat. And thank you so much for watching. Oh, I totally got this on Tavour. You know what? I am really, really enjoying my Tavour membership, where they send me these notifications about these beers that are available that would not normally be available to me in my region. It's a treat every month, like watching the emails coming through and getting excited about the beers that are coming up next. And I have 2 Imperial Stouts. Yeah, Imperial Stouts that I might even do a taste comparison to. In my next video, if I feel bold like opening 2 large Imperial Stouts, but stay tuned. Anyway, Tavour, spot on service. Thank you so much for watching. Have a good night.